Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since you've seen me, but I just had to take a break to take care of me, my mental, and my family. And I am doing so much better, so I'm so excited to be here to talk about something that you guys have been asking me for a while now, and that's been how have motherhood been treating you? So I'm excited to talk about this because it's been a roller coaster, a good one nonetheless, but I get to share with you today.
It's August 27th at 12:16. We're having a baby today.
So for those of you who know me personally, you know that in the past I did not want any kids. Children actually scared me. I don't know what it was, but I just, every time like the idea of kids came to mind, I was just like, not me. I'll be that good auntie to, my friends' kids, my nieces and nephews, but just, it wasn't something that I wanted for me. Of course, that changed fast when I became pregnant with my son, and I was always afraid of children, but I think I was more so afraid of how I would be as a mother. I was never the nurturing type. My friends always say that, I don't show emotions, I'm not affectionate, and anything like that. And so, because I've never seen myself as such, I was afraid of how I would be, mothering someone who needs nurturing, who needs affection and such. That was something that surprised me when I became a mother because those things like instinctively came through. Like, I didn't know how it was going to be, but I found myself nurturing this child. I found myself loving this child. So much to the fact where it scared me. I'm like, what the heck? Where did this come from? But, that was something that God had already put inside of me, but just needed to be unlocked. And Nassim unlocked that for me. So yeah, that part was, in the beginning it was pretty easy, to say the least. I think as time went on, I kind of fell into, I don't know if it's postpartum depression, but I kind of fell into some kind of depression because I was always the type of person that I always was working. I was always working, I was always doing something, and I became a stay-at-home mom, and that kind of slowed me down. Not kind of, it slowed me down a lot, to the point where I was trying to figure out who I was outside of being a mother and being a wife, and I was kind of lost. I didn't know who I was outside of that anymore because I had devoted myself to being a stay-at-home mom and devoted myself to being a wife, and nothing wrong with that, but I just felt like Delani kind of got overshadowed and just wanting to adapt and just take hold to those roles. But even through that journey, God, He was with me every step of the way. And He just reminded me of who I was, prior to becoming a mother and prior to becoming a wife. And that just helped me along the journey. Dealing with the adjustment of my body was a huge thing that added to like me feeling depressed because I was always on the slimmer side in life, just in general. Even when I got thicker, I was still considered slim. And so the weight that came, the hair loss that came, and those are all, just a part of the journey. But for me, and I'm the first one out of my friends to have a baby, and so when you see your friends, it was like a comparison thing where I was like, well, my friends, they're still so slim, like they can just go to the beach and not just be carefree, they can wear a two-piece, and here I am with my raisin bun. That's what I call my stomach because my son stretched me out a little bit. I was like, here I am with my raisin bun, like I'm just not confident and all of those things. And sometimes as mothers, we're just very hard on ourselves. It also taught me how to be selfless. I never considered myself a selfish person, but when you have a child, it's a level of selflessness that comes with it that you wouldn't ordinarily think of. And when you think about it, it's like, man, like there have been times where me and my husband, like, we would have financial issues, and before we eat, we think about our child eating. Things like that. Like, okay, we can sacrifice a meal for our child's sake. There's just some sacrifices that you make that you don't even think of because of the unconditional love that you have for that child, because of your motherly instinct. You just want the best for your child. There's some things that I developed along the journey that wasn't previously theirs, and there's still some things that I am developing. I apologize if it feels that I'm rambling. This isn't something that I really talk about. It's just something that I think about a lot. So being able to actually get it out of my head and talk about it is actually healing for me. I've dealt with depression in the past prior to having SAHM, and I'm always able to work through it. But this postpartum depression, and I think being a stay-at-home mom, it took a toll on me, because sometimes I felt like I was on an island, even though that I wasn't on an island. It just kind of felt that way. Just being home, not doing, I wouldn't say not doing anything, but not doing the routine that I was used to prior to having a child. So if you're dealing with postpartum depression, or you think you're dealing with it, I would say just seek help. It's a chemical imbalance that happens, and it's okay. It's okay, but I do want you to reach out. You know, everyone may not be Christian, but you know, I think wise counsel is always good, to help you get through whatever it is that you're going through, whether that's going to someone who is an expert in that area, talking to people, talking to other mothers again. Just do whatever you know is best for you and your journey, and whatever is going to get you through. Because suffering with depression for a period of time, it's very it's very tough, and I don't want you to suffer if you don't have to. And that's something that I had to learn. I don't have to suffer. I can get help, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But I shouldn't suffer in silence, and neither should you. I do want to encourage you to not compare your journey to anyone else. Embrace your journey to motherhood. My journey was, it was different. It was different from a lot of journeys that I've heard, but it's mine, and I love it. I appreciate it. I wouldn't trade it for anything, and I would actually do it again. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If there was something that I said that you want me to elaborate on or talk about more, just let me know in the comment section. Or if you relate to anything that I've said, let me know in the comment section. And I hope to chat with you guys soon.